Shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, giving infinite praise, His glory, and honor unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Rachakodash, and giving double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom and salutation to all you sincere occupants across the four winds, pushing this truth with sincerity of heart. I'm your fellow servant, Kasama God from the DC camp, coming at you through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Rachakodash, for the elect. Now, this is going to be it's just a quick one. Basically, going into this particular debate right here, I'm not going to really play it. I mean, I kind of like watch parts of it. And really, you got this guy, the No Fugazi podcast, which, he's one of those manospheres content creator. And you have at the top Andrew Wilson, which he's kind of like a Christian-based, conservative, content creator. And then he's debating Captain Tazaria, right? Tazaria Gahawada right there, one of the heads of ICUPK. And again, I seen it, and it was pretty bad, man, in the sense that, Tazaria basically not being able to really back up his points, just losing the debate, which is that's the sad thing, right? Because when when you have the answers and you still lose the debate, it's really sad. The inability to really explain your points, making Israel just look really, really bad, man. It's sad. This guy, and I'm noticing, of course, the debate thing it's all about being a content creator, right? So Tazaria is nothing but a content creator that makes content about being a Hebrew Israelite, right? Others might call him a prophet. Others may believe he's a man of the Lord. To me, Tazaria is just a content creator, making content on being a Hebrew Israelite. And he's not really doing a good job, a good job when it comes to that, although he was bragging about it. So it's really sad watching this. But, all of them get paid. Fugazi's definitely going to get paid for this content. And Andrew Wilson, of course, you got to pay him for appearance. Like this guy, that's kind of what he does now. So you got to pay him. And, of course, Tazaria, you also got to pay him. There's no way these guys are not getting paid. They're not getting on this podcast because for edification's sake, and they're not really sincere. And so everybody just want to get paid. And again, but for Tazaria, again, you're supposed to go into prophecy, right? Not sit here and talk and make podcasts about polygyny and is polygyny good for the West? And then, and sitting there talking about how polygyny would be good for the West when, according to the Bible, the West is going to be destroyed. All right. You shouldn't even be in the mindset of trying to come up with ways how to talk about things that you believe will be good for the West. It's like, it would be like us in Great Millstone saying, well, America needs to, Babylon the Great needs to do away with feminism. Right. Imagine we get out there and we debate, in Great Millstone, how Babylon needs to do away with feminism. Why the hell would I want Babylon, a.k.a. the United States, to do away with feminism? Feminism is a cancer that's killing the society of my enemies. It's bringing my enemies to their knees. All right, we in like late stage feminism or stage 4 feminism. So you talking about, polygyny, it was nonsense. You shouldn't even engage in this debate, but it brings about views, and views, bring money. So it's all about money. Now, what about the MOTB? Right, you have technology that's coming out right now. You got the banks that's definitely pushing us towards the MOTB. You got the Real ID. So all these organizations are all of a sudden making moves towards, microchipping, and then you already, you in here as a top dog, and as you began talking about, polygyny and how polygyny will work and who's going to enforce polygyny. Come on, man. The Lord is Yahushua is going to destroy this place, and then you keep talking about Christ, and yeah, you just in the wrong spirit, man. Why? Because just a content creator, man. So I'm not gonna Make it too long. I just had a quick precept. This is 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 1. It's subtitle The Danger of False Teachers. It says, but there were also false prophets in Israel. This is actually in the NLT. But there were also false prophets in Israel, just as there will be false teachers among you. They will cleverly teach destructive heresies and even deny the master who bought them. All right. So when you're talking about Christ, you're coming on a different spirit. When you're talking about it's polygyny and monogamy, which one works and which one doesn't work. Well, both that and you talking about any type of the things that's going on in Babylon. Like Babylon's going to be destroyed. It doesn't matter, Now, according to the scriptures, before Babylon is destroyed, you're going to see a large amount of people engaging in ancient polygyny, because you kind of have polyamory already, going on, and you do have polygyny, but the whole land is wicked and corrupt. So as a teacher, calling yourself a teacher, a shepherd, you're supposed to warn the people that this conversation doesn't matter. All right. There's certain conversations that shouldn't be had. And the conversation of if polygyny or monogamy, which one is best for the West. Like, why are you even engaging into a conversation like that about something that according to the Bible, the West is going to be basically destroyed. Beginning with the U.S. and via thermonuclear missiles, according to the Bible. Again, but you engage into these talks, into these vain talks, because there's money behind it, right? It says, in this way, they will bring sudden destruction on themselves. Many will follow their evil teaching and shameful immorality. Some of the things that they were talking about, again, is just vain nonsense, man. And because of these teachers, the way of truth will be slandered, right? And then when you go out there and you misrepresent on the gospel, you should be shutting that guy down, Andrew Wilson. But you're so poor. Your debate skills are so poor when it comes to dealing with anybody that's really not in Israel, because all that stuff, all these debates, when you get out there, knowing the truth is one thing, man, but being a master debater is understanding how to prove the truth and how to corner your opponents. Not going out there and just calling people, degenerates just because, and ducking and dodging questions. And you got a guy who's on that Christian tip, and he's got you in a corner like that, And I was looking at the comment, man. Even you have Israelites in the comment board say, "Oh, you're getting cooked. How can you lose?" You go out there in a vain debate and you're getting your ass handed to you, man, because you coming in the spirit of Christ. You're trying to make money. And he looked tired too. So, you could tell he was really, it's one of those things where, you just got to clock in and make some money. So he probably didn't necessarily, I'm talking about Tazari, he probably didn't necessarily prepare well for this. But it's probably again, I'm assuming when he heard how much he was getting paid, he just hopped on it, right? Easy money. But you got some of these Christians out here, they'll put you to task. And Andrew Wilson is one of those dudes, he'll put you to task. But again, he's coming from the angle of Christianity, so he's lost. Verse 3, it says, and they agreed that will make up clever lies to get hold of your money. All right. But the Most High condemned them long ago, and their destruction will not be delayed. So, you got these guys, and I'm really gonna say, it's just going into the false prophets, man. You got these guys again. It's all about money. And I'm not going to go too much, just again, that's the stream. I don't know if it's probably going on still. So if you want to check it out, you can rewind it. But it's just, to me, that as a Hebrew Israelite engaging into a debate about what particular sexual lifestyle would benefit the West is absolutely ridiculous, man. So with that, I'm going to say, Carl, I'm like, how about you, man? Shout double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Shalom, and salutation to the elect. Shalom.